Was Jesus a feminist? I mean, it kind of seems like he was. From Genesis 1 to Proverbs 31 to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, there is no shortage of stories where women are deeply respected. But while Jesus called for women to be respected, there are so many times when we just aren't.
It's totally win-win, Tom. And what's more, based on...
Kevin, I'd like you to run with this from here on.
But it's Miranda's case.
Actually, it's the firm's case.
If you've ever been dismissed, mansplained, or disrespected, you've come to the right place. We've got some biblical strategies that will help women like us get the respect we deserve. First and foremost, let's be clear. In the eyes of God, men and women are equal. That's right, equally worthy and equally cherished by the Creator of the heavens and the earth. In fact, Genesis 1:27 explains, God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female. He created them. So while women may be minimized and mocked as the weaker sex, the truth is, women are created in the image of God, just as much as men are, and women should be honored and respected. Okay, now that we've got that straight, let's get clear on treatment that is totally unacceptable. First, body shaming or any disrespect disguised as quote-unquote honesty about your appearance is completely out of the question.
Well, don't overdo it. I don't want people saying there goes that famous actor with the big fat girlfriend.
We've already established that you were created in the image of God, which means, babe, you are glorious. But did you know that the Psalms make it clear that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, literally knit in the womb by the hand of God? And that creative hand of God does not make mistakes. So do not accept disrespect from anyone, including yourself, when it comes to your looks. If you've ever been disrespected, let me be the first to say, you never deserved that. And that treatment stops right here. We're going to call out that behavior and set the record straight and make sure that you're seen for the masterpiece that you are. So if someone throws shade at your heavenly body, what should you do? Number one, do not internalize that trash. We cannot let the judgment or disrespect of others define our worth. There is a real danger in accepting the negative thoughts of others as truth. We can start to see the world through that lens and believe something that is absolutely not true. In fact, Proverbs 4 tells us, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. What gets down in our hearts affects the rest of our lives. So we have to be sure disrespect doesn't penetrate our hearts and cloud our understanding of who we truly are. Okay, next. Don't be afraid to confront someone who is disrespectful of your appearance. But before we get crazy and come at them, remember, Proverbs encourages us that a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. But what does that even look like? Trust me, a gentle answer doesn't seem like the most effective go-to strategy, but a gentle response actually does promote peace. It reduces hostility and leads to better outcome in conflicts. So here's how to handle it. When someone disrespects your appearance, calmly ask them to repeat what they just said. Repeating the insult or disrespectful comment forces them to hear the weight of their words. And more often than not, once they repeat it, they'll feel at least some level of discomfort or conviction. Then, after they repeat it, ask them, were you trying to hurt me by saying that? Now, chances are they'll fumble, backtrack, and make excuses.
Why are you pushing this? What's in it for you?
Oh.
Just simply respond with peace and patience and explain, when you said X, it did hurt. It made me feel Y. This strategy holds the offender accountable for their actions. It doesn't let them off the hook, and it keeps the focus on their words rather than explosive emotions. Let that gentle answer do the work for you, and keep serving up looks and grace. Now, our looks are just a starting point. There are so many ways that we are disrespected as women, and one that personally drives me crazy is being dismissed and then mansplained to. If you've dealt with this too, please leave a solidarity comment below.
You're gonna want to put your fingers in the holes there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, get your thumb in that one.
There? That one?
Yep, and then take 3 steps, kind of. You want to land on your left, and don't be afraid to use those little...
The The thing about this kind of disrespect is that it undermines our intelligence and reinforces gender inequality. We've already explored the truth that God sees men and women as equally worthy. But just to be clear, there is an entire chapter of the Bible that expresses just how capable women are. Proverbs 31 paints a picture of a woman who is a boss. Among many other things, she is a businesswoman and an entrepreneur, a provider and a protector, and a wise investor with a smart financial strategy. This woman understands long-term planning and risk management, and God wants her to be honored and respected. So, how do we get that respect? Well, first, I'd say pray. Ask God for help, reminding yourself that He is the guard of your reputation. Psalm 41, 11 through 12 explains, I know that you are pleased with me, for my enemy does not triumph over me. Because of my integrity, you uphold me, and you set me in your presence forever. After a prayerful pause, reclaim the floor with confidence. Colossians encourages us, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each questions. But what does that look like? Well, wait, before we go any further, I want to take a minute to thank our awesome sponsor, Body Surf. You guys, Body Surf is an amazing beach lifestyle brand founded by Christians who created incredible quality products. My personal favorite is their Marine Layer Hydrating Facial Oil. Check them out at bodysurf.com if you want to look great, feel good, and support an amazing Christian company while you're enjoying a sunny day and salty ocean air. And speaking of salty, let's get back to it. Okay, the concept of speech seasoned with salt suggests that our words have value, purpose, and clarity. Like salt enhances flavor and preserves. It directs us to respond in a way that maintains dignity and actually commands respect, even in frustrating situations. As Michelle Obama would say,
when they go low, we go high.
Also, studies suggest that our body language speaks volumes, so don't be thrown off when you're dismissed or interrupted. Maintain eye contact, sit tall, and when you do reclaim the floor, use a calm but firm voice that signals confidence and authority. Then, gently but firmly, redirect the conversation by saying something like, I'd like to get back to what I was saying earlier. You are subtly signaling that you deserve to be heard and that the previous dismissal is not acceptable. Eleanor Roosevelt famously said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. So put your graceful, well-manicured foot down and don't allow anyone to treat you as inferior. The final form of disrespect is sneaky and subtle, professional undermining.
Oh, I'm sorry, do you have some prior commitment? Some hideous skirt convention you have to go to?
Sadly, this is something we often experience from other women. Since breaking through the glass ceiling, women have been convinced that there are limited seats at the table. So we have to elbow our way to the seat and then hold onto it with a vice grip. That scarcity mentality leads to tragic behavior that sadly keeps other women out of the C-suite and constantly questioning their own ability.
Is this her, the new me?
Hi.
Told you?
I thought you were kidding.
No, quite serious, yeah.
What exactly is she wearing?
Her grandmother's skirt.
Professional undermining can come in many forms, like someone else taking credit for your work or ideas, withholding critical information you need to get your job done, or even forgetting to include you on an email chain or dismissing you in front of coworkers.
That I can't even talk about.
This kind of toxic work environment can be tricky to navigate, but you are a powerful woman of God with the creator of the universe as your ally. So first, don't let someone else's bad behavior drag you down. Proverbs tells us, whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. Don't stoop to their level. You will never regret maintaining your integrity. And from Proverbs to Shakespeare, it's been proven time and time again, the truth will out. It may not be today, and it may not happen as soon as you'd like. While crooked paths might seem like shortcuts that allow tricky people to get ahead, in reality, they are building a house on sand that will eventually crumble. Okay, so we aren't going to stoop to their level. Next, we are going to kindly confront them. If your brother or sister sins, go and point out their fault just between the two of you. Matthew 18:15. Now, the original context of this verse is directed towards Christians who are in conflict with one another, but the wisdom behind it is universal. Confront someone who is treating you poorly. Speak to them directly and kindly and privately. Don't gossip about their behavior to your coworkers or complain about them for hours to your bestie. If there is truly a problem and you want it solved, you've got to take some actionable steps, and confronting your work nemesis in love is the best way to start. Come to them with evidence and talk through it with them. Hey Jan, I've noticed you've repeatedly left me off email chains about this project. You told our boss that my idea was yours, and I've heard that you said some negative things about me behind my back. I'd love for us to be a better team. I think we are both powerhouses, and if we could find a way to work together, we could really see some successes. Reminding your work nemesis that you are actually on her side can do wonders to improve your working relationship. It's always a good thing to give someone an opportunity to course correct. But if an honest talk addressing the issues doesn't work out, please keep track of the coworkers' undermining habits and address them with your boss or the HR department. As Brené Brown has pointed out, the problems that get solved are the ones someone had the courage to point out. You've got this, mama. God has made it clear. You are fearfully and wonderfully made in his image. You are his daughter. A daughter of the king commands respect in the most loving and regal way. Remember, when you dwell on God's truths and apply them to your life, you shine. Before we wrap up, I would really love to hear your stories in the comments below. Your story about overcoming disrespect might be exactly what another woman needs to hear today. And if you're ready to flourish, hit subscribe and tap that notification bell. We're dwelling on the wisdom of God here every week. So dwell on these things for a happy, healthier life.